Hello, and today we're doing Premier League predictions for match of the 2024-25 season. It's the last weekend before the second international break of the season, so I thought this time let's bring back the predictions this weekend and let's see if we can be our best attempt at the next Mystic Meg or the Octopus, like from the World Cup. But this time we're going to apply it to match week 7 of the Premier League. So make sure you do drop in ASAP your score predictions for this weekend's round of matches, which kicks off with the 11 o'clock deadline. So that's what I want your predictions in by. Comment below as soon as you can, and I'll see all of your 10 predictions and see how many they can get points compared to mine. The scoring system is 3 points for a result, 5 for a goal difference, and then 7 for a scoreline. So if you went for a 2-0 Man United and it's a 3-1, you get 5 points for the goal difference. But then for a correct result, it's just the 3 and 7 for the score. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this weekend's action and talk through the potential matchups that will be taking place. At Selhurst Park on TNT Sports, 12:30 kickoff, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Fascinating game, this one, because you would look at it and say that's an easy Liverpool win, based on the fact Liverpool looking really good this season under Arne Slot, and they're top of the table. They're looking confident. It's got to be said, and I do think that this Liverpool side, just the one loss this season so far. Obviously, both Man City and Arsenal have remained unbeaten, but Liverpool look like they're scoring goals, and they're not actually necessarily always playing well, but they're just finding ways to win games, like against Wolves. I mean, defensively, a bit suspect. Kanate, I'm not quite sure what he was doing for Aït-Nouri to score that goal, but Liverpool find a way through. Salah with a penalty. I mean, it's silly from Wolves to give away that penalty, but it is a penalty. And Salah, as usual, puts it away with a lot of confidence because that's just what he does from the 12-yard spot. So, at the end of the day, Liverpool are looking really good. I do think they are going to struggle to find a way to push Man City all season. But they'll definitely be up there. So, yeah, I think Liverpool win this game. I think it's pretty clear to me. Crystal Palace, though, they are getting close. They are getting close to that first win of the season. I don't quite know how they haven't done it yet, to be honest. But, they're in a kind of group along with Ipswich and Leicester and Southampton and Wolves that have just not found a way to get 3 points yet. But I just don't see it coming here. I think it could either be a draw or a Liverpool win. But Liverpool, top of the table, scoring goals, even if they're not playing well, that's a sign of a good side. So I think Slot's team will get the 3 points here. I'm going to say Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 3. Goal scorers, the first goal of the weekend will come for the Reds, and it will come from Mr. Andy Robertson. Then Liverpool do get pegged back with a goal for Palace, this time from Eberechi Eze. But then Liverpool hit back themselves with a couple of goals. Firstly, from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then the third strike for Liverpool is going to be Cody Gakpo. Now, Arsenal against Southampton is the next fixture at the Emirates Stadium, 3 o'clock kickoff, and after a very good result last week against Leicester, Arsenal feeling confident. Now, of course, defensively a few problems there. They would have expected to have beaten Leicester a bit more comfortably than they ended up doing. When they go 2-0 up, they're thinking probably cruising to a victory, but they just did take it a bit for granted, a bit too complacent. And Leicester, incredible goal from James Justin, that second one. The volley, the technique to cut across that is absolutely superb. And yeah, Arsenal, they are a very good defence, we know that, but they just had a blip last week. So I think this is a game they can keep a clean sheet in. We've seen how really blunt up front Southampton have been, and they're just switching it all around as they did against Bournemouth with Armstrong not getting minutes. You've got players like Cameron Archer players like Stewart, players like Ben Brereton Diaz, and they've just got a lot of options, but they're not quite sure who their best picks are at the moment. So, yeah, a bit of a headache that one for Russell Martin. They have been awful. No ways about it, really. So, if Arsenal don't win this, then yeah, they can probably think that sort of consistency is not going to win them a title. But yeah, I expect an Arsenal win, and I expect a comfortable Arsenal win. Arsenal 3, Southampton 0. Goal scorers, Saka to get the first one for the Gunners. And then the second Arsenal goal, I think, will be coming from the midfield general, Declan Rice. And then the third goal for Arsenal, a bullet header from William Saliba. Okay, next up, Brentford Wolves. Tricky one, this one, because I see a Wolves side that did actually play well against Liverpool. Defensively, there's still problems, but they're actually putting in some decent performances. Brentford, on the other hand, well, they have this knack of scoring in the first minute at the moment, but they're not quite converting many of these games into wins. Obviously, had a couple of tough games at the Etihad and at Tottenham, but they're a very good side, Brentford, on their day. I just worry about them defensively. So I do think Wolves will score in this game, but I think Brentford will have too much quality and Brentford will get the win. So I'll say Brentford 2, Wolves 1, and Brentford score first through Brian and Mbeumo. The second for Brentford, Fabio Carvalho, and then Wolves hit back with a late goal from Mateus Cunha. Now, Leicester against Bournemouth. I'm going to go for a Leicester win. This might be a shock to a lot of people because Bournemouth were absolutely superb on Monday night against Southampton. But I don't know, I just feel like this is the game where Leicester can prove the doubters wrong. Yes, they've not won enough games this season, but they've had good performances, I feel. And, in the last game, as I said previously, they had some good moments against Arsenal. And I think that win is coming. So I think this will be a bit of a shock, but I'll say Leicester City 2, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth scores through Semenyo to start off with, but then Leicester's 2 goals come from a man who loves playing the cherries. It's Jamie Vardy. Now, Man City Fulham. Fulham got obviously slapped 5-1 in this game last season, but let's not forget, they're also a side that did beat the likes of Arsenal last season. So I wouldn't write Fulham off here, but I think Man City will still win. I think Fulham will score, but it will be tighter than last season for sure. Marco Silva's a very good manager, and he knows how to, keep his side compact. But City will definitely test that, and I'll say City 2, Fulham 1. Fulham's goal scorer will be the in-form Raul Jimenez, but then Man City's goal scorers, first up, Erling Haaland, second up, Erling Haaland. Yes, it will be a brace for the Norwegian. Then the next one is West Ham against Ipswich. Now, doesn't really feel like a huge goal fest, this one. I think this will be tight. Hard to call, I would say. I'd probably just edge towards a 1-1 draw, though. I think neither side really have found ways to win too many matches. I mean, West Ham beat Palace, but other than that, it's been pretty poor for them this season. Just finding a way to kind of win games and get that team gelling with all those new signings is tricky at the moment for Julian Lopetegui. But Ipswich, on the other hand, I've been really impressed with, and obviously a really good point last time out against Aston Villa, but it's away from home, so I think West Ham will make it tricky, and I'll say 1-1. West Ham scorer is going to be Jared Bowen, and Ipswich will get a goal from their midfield sensation, that is Amari Hutchinson. Now, Everton Newcastle, the late kickoff on Saturday night, the tea time game as they like to call it. This is interesting because we know what happened last season. Everton absolutely pummeled that Newcastle side, and defensively, it's not been a good story for Newcastle this season. They've still not looked solid enough, but despite that win for Everton last time out against Palace, I believe Newcastle will get the 3 points. I'm going for Everton 1, Newcastle United 3. And Newcastle goal scorers, First of all, Anthony Gordon, after he scored last week. Then a goal from Longstaff. And the final goal for Newcastle is going to come from their attacking player who can score goals when he wants. But it is Mr. Joel Linton. And Everton's goal scorer will pull back a goal, Everton, from their centre-back. That is, oh yes, he's mighty, he's strong, and he knows how to score. It's James Tarkowski. And next up, we've got the Sunday games. Sorry, bit of a cough there. Sunday games now. Chelsea against Forest is the game at Stamford Bridge, and I think Chelsea lost this game last season with a goal from Anthony Elanga, but of course they did just thump Brighton 4-2 with a 4-goal masterclass from Cole Palmer. So I would expect Chelsea to win this game, despite Forest, putting up some good results this season, beating Liverpool. They weren't that good last time out against Fulham, so I think Chelsea do win this one. I'll say 3-0 to Chelsea with goals from, who else? Cole Palmer. Then a second goal for Chelsea, this time from their midfielder, that is Mr. Caicedo. And then a third Chelsea goal. This one is going to come from Pedro Neto. And now, the final game of the games, it's Sky Sports double header. Villa against Man United. Could be a bit of a tough one for Manchester United off the back of a topsy-turvy draw in Porto in the Champions League. Harry Maguire, really sparing Eric Ten Hag blushes there. And Aston Villa, well, they just absolutely look brilliant from an offensive perspective in that Bayern Munich game. What a win that was. And Duran keeps on delivering. I think Villa, though, I don't see them not winning this game. I genuinely think Manchester United, especially with their defensive issues this season, I just don't see how Villa don't exploit that. And Ollie Watkins is a man in form, so I'll say Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 1. Man United score first, though, to be fair to them, from the returning Rasmus Højlund. But then Villa's goal scorers will first, of course, go with Ollie Watkins. And then the man in the picture there, it is Morgan Rogers. And then the final game of Matchweek 7 is Brighton v Tottenham. And this could have goals written all over it because it's two teams who love to play a high line, two teams who love to score goals. But let's not forget, Brighton are without the injured João Pedro, and Tottenham, well, they definitely look a team that can score after the impressive win at Old Trafford last weekend. So I suspect Tottenham will get a lot of goals here, but will it be enough to get 3 points? I don't think it will. I'm going to go for 2-2 here at the Amex Stadium. Brighton score first, and they will score first through Kaoru Mitoma. But then Spurs hit back with a goal from Dominic Solanke. Spurs then go ahead again through Dejan Kulusevski. And then Brighton have the last laugh with an equaliser from none other than Mr. Lewis Dunk at the back, leading by example. So those are our Match Week 7 score predictions for the Premier League, the best league in the football world. So get your score predictions ASAP in the comment section below, and we'll see who scores the most points. 3 for a result, 5 for a goal difference, and 7 for a scoreline. Take me on and see if you're better than me. Have a good one, people. Enjoy Match Week 7. Let's do this.